Good morning. It's me again, and I still have allergy croup. I don't feel sick at all. It's just allergies making me feel like I've got, I don't know, mud in my nose and throat. So I'm going to sound a little rough again, but I feel fine. We are over here close to where I live. I'm going to start doing different areas for my morning walks because for the last couple years I've kind of been beating the same path to death. So we're going to do different stuff today. We're going to walk up this way, and this way is what I have referred to in earlier videos as my little Sleepy Hollow path, because just like in the fun late 90s or early aughts movie Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp in it, it had really awesome visuals for this little narrowing path, this little narrowing forest path, and I like that. So we're going to take pictures here because I think this is a beautiful vista near where I live, because it's got, you can see the Queen Anne's lace, you can see all the little clover flower buds. It's got a nice contour to the land, and I just think it's got a beautiful morning sunrise. So we'll take some pictures here later. I might even use one for the thumbnail, we'll see. All right, well, what do I want to talk about today? Today I want to talk about the power of language and why I make the claims I do about it. I want you to think about the things I share with you today. I want you to understand why language is so important, and I want you to understand why I believe the things that I profess are necessary because of the power of language. Now, let's go ahead and rotate the camera around to me, and I will pace back and forth here in Sleepy Hollow and and to share my ideas. There has been data released. There have been data released about the dramatic drop in fertility rate, birth rate. Data released revealing massive complications of cardiopulmonary, blood clots, all kinds of health issues around the unnameable thing that the thing we're not allowed to name on here has federal level protection against being sued because of problems. Thank you, Trump. Thank you, Warp Speed, or whatever the fuck it was called. Thank you for getting my mother, who loved you and voted for you, to take this garbage, and she's never been the same since. Thank you for that, Trump. Anyway, I get pissed at things. Anyway, a year or two ago, when this medicine was new, I was very skeptical. I showed my mother a bunch of very worrying data on it, and I told her, please don't get this. Please, this is not what they're calling it. Look at all these things. And she looked at all those things, and she said, I'm going to take it anyway because better safe than sorry. And I understand the frustration. Like, I have been a truth warrior for a long time, and I'm used to people thinking that I'm crazy when I try to tell them about history revision, when I try to tell them about weird conspiracy plots that have gone on in the government in our lifetimes, not just ones in the past. I get that. I've been that way for many, many years. I'm used to that. Oh, look, a big spider. Hey, buddy. Oh, look, a wolf spider. Hey, come here. Look at this big boy. Hi, buddy. Hey, come into my hand. Oh, no, he jumped away. Oh, come on. I won't hurt you. Whee! Okay, well, he must be on the prowl or scared, because he ain't going to crawl on my hand. Well, the first real wildlife I came across on this channel wasn't very cuddly, was it? Alright, anyway. I'm used to people thinking that I'm a little kooky. I'm used to people thinking, going back even 10, 12 years now, of whenever I try to expose media lies or tell them about lies that are on TV, and now thankfully because of the Go Free method I have the phrase Hollywood isn't history. I've been using the hell out of that one. And we're going to turn around and head back now. And the frustrating thing about all this was when I was confronted with something that was happening in the immediate, in the right now, going back a year or two ago with my mother. And I presented to her things that I knew were red flags that made this stuff dangerous. I don't want to say that she discounted it because it came from me, but she probably discounted it because it came from me, because I have a long history of trying to expose conspiracies and speak the truth about stuff, going all the way back to the Iraq engagement back in the early aughts. That stank to me then, and I didn't even know how to talk about it. Anyway, so she got all of the medicine treatments, all of the booster medicine treatments, and her health has been fucked up ever since. She's not been right. Doesn't sleep well, has issues, already had a heart problem. Now her heart problem is a little worse. Her blood pressure is a little worse. It's up and down. We don't know why. I know why, but anyway. So 2 days ago, oh wait, no, today's Wednesday. 3 days ago on Sunday, after church and after eating and stuff, I sat down and I said, hey, let me show you some data that came out in Germany. And I forget where the other data was, or the other compilation for us. It was also in Europe. And I said, look at these numbers here. I said, look at all this. And I showed her about the football players, soccer, if you're American, falling over, having heart attacks. I showed her data from, I forget exactly where it was, but somewhere that had, I think, 400 or 500% up in blood pressure and heart-related issues in some military. I forget where it was. And then I showed her stuff about the disappearing birth rates that just nosedived off a cliff, and how that ain't normal. Like, even during times of stress, famine, and war, people copulate at a pretty normal rate, and we have pretty regular birth cycles. Like, it's very easy to see. You can pull up birth rates and look at graphs and charts and stuff. It's like clockwork. It's like pretty regular through the seasons every year. And then, starting just about 6 or 8 months ago, things started nosediving, falling off cliffs. Now, why would that be? Why would that be? I wonder. Was it stress because of the BLM riot? Oh, wait, no. This was from all over the world. Could it be because of stress over raising gas prices? Or what mean old Papaw Putin is doing from Russia? No, it ain't that. It's something else. It's something that was forced upon most of the population. And how was that done? That was done with words. The entire narrative here is words. The anti-white narrative, the anti-Western agenda, whatever you want to call it. It's words. Going back, look at this beautiful sky. Wow. I love it out here. It truly is God's country. One day I might like to own a place like this right here. I have almost enough money if I sold all my land to buy a place like this, but I'd rather hold on to my family land and talk people into building on it with me instead of just selling it off to buy a house. Anyway, that's just my musings. Anyway, so why are words the most powerful thing? Well, going back to the long march through the institutions that the anti-whites did like 80, 90 years ago, they knew the power of words to dissolve society, to dissolve the bond between man and God, to dissolve the bond between man and woman, parent and child, truth and fiction. This, let's be kind and say, cabal of anti-whites, they mentally and spiritually poisoned our civilization on purpose. They even wrote books about what they were going to do. Look up the Frankfurt School, the people that founded and began the Frankfurt School. Read what they wrote. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I had to find it all out. I had to do the listening and the homework myself. You can find it out too. These evil, evil people knew that if they could control people with media, entertainment, language, infiltrating the church, infiltrating everything, they knew that they could manipulate, they could shape society, because words are how we think outside of ourselves to others. And if they change those words and can actively control those words, active measures, then they could control how we are allowed to think. And if you control how people think together, you can shape what they build together, how they act together. And that's why I say that words are more powerful than atomic bombs, lasers, sharks with laser beams attached to their heads. Words are that powerful because not only have they driven us to the point in civilization to where medicine isn't medicine, But family isn't family, and truth isn't truth. My mother won't believe her lying eyes, no matter what I show her. She will only believe what official sources tell her, and she is a right-wing, never voted left, super Christian, super traditional conservative person. She despises homosexuals. She despises homosexual marriage. She loves God and Jesus. She goes to church all the time. Super traditional. Thinks that women shouldn't be in power, thinks that women shouldn't vote, believes all this old-timey antebellum America stuff. And she is a victim of this mind war. She, of course, she's in her 70s. She's a boomer generation person. She grew up on this. Her generation was the first one to grow up in this entirely conquered, poisonous, anti-white America. And it shows. It shows. She can't disbelieve it, because then all those lies, all those building blocks start to fall. And I know that must be why she can't start just believing the things that I say. She can't believe her lying eyes, because then everything she was taught growing up might also be a lie. Her faith in the country, her faith in the judicial system, her faith in even God itself might be threatened. And so she can't. She can't relent. She can't break free of this narrative of lies. That is why words are so powerful. And that is what, I don't want to say destroyed, but I never thought that I would have such a strained relationship with my mother. Until this. In her 70s now, me in my 40s, I finally have a strained, damaged relationship with my mother because of the lies over this stupid fake sickness and fake treatment for it. It makes me so mad. When I say fake sickness, I know that people are getting severely ill and disturbed by something, and I know that they call it C-19. But I don't believe it's what they're telling us. I've seen too much information, too many things, too many red flags, too many, gee, isn't that convenient, things to think that this is what we're supposed to call it. So I don't know what to call it. I'm calling it the fake plague. So anyway, this stuff, it's because of the mind war. It's because of the anti-white narrative of language, of the destruction of language. It always reminds me of that line in 1984. It's a beautiful thing, the destruction of words. That's what's been done to us. The evil people who set out to dissolve the bonds of civilization that made America and the West what it is, succeeded. They smashed every pillar of our foundation. Religion, family, decency, honesty, trust, faith. They knew exactly what they were doing. Like a surgeon removing a cancer, they developed tools for their religion. Moloch, Satan, these evil swine. No, that's too good for them. These vermin. They set out with their tools, and instead of removing a sickness, they implanted it in us. And it has festered for generations, culminating in what we have now, where loved ones can't trust each other because even the words they speak to each other have no meaning anymore. That's why I say our future relies on us and building in rural areas together. And no, I don't mean we all have to go live in the woods and completely separate ourselves from civilization. That's not what I'm talking about when I say build parallel and live in our own communities. What I mean is, we have to network with like-minded people who are willing to fight this mind war. And we have to make family communities. Dozens of us at first, then maybe hundreds, then maybe thousands, all across the West. And we have to raise our children with the truth. I'm not even saying you have to be Christian or Asatru or atheist or you have to believe in the Constitution. I'm not saying any of that. Like, the only thing that matters is we raise generations of our children to know what words really mean, to know what morality is, to keep them away from Hollywood and video games and TV and all the things that put the mind plague in them. That's the only way I can think that we have a future, is fighting the linguistic war And the best way to do that is to raise people that are not poisoned by it. So, here we are. Jason's Go Free method. It works. It works wonders. It's not perfect, but nothing's perfect. It's helped me have much better approach to talking about everything, not just racial issues, not just white erasure, not just the damage being done to us on a racial ethnic level as white Americans. But it helps me talk about everything because it's the framework of being the champion of my story and putting the framework of all of these things that I know, all the historical revision, all the Ant Nat talking points, all that stuff, I still know and I can still use. I just do it through the framework of going free, and I don't come off like an asshole. I don't sound like some villain that my family have been programmed to hate. So that's why I say it's a great. It helps you engage with people who are already poisoned by the mind war, which is basically everybody. Speaking of Jason, I'll be on tap with him and Jared tomorrow night. That's Thursday. I don't know the exact time, but he said evening, so I'm guessing 6 o'clock maybe. Anyway, other than being pissy about my relationship with my mother and what this stupid fake plague has done to her and my relationship, it really hurts because I've got family in for the 4th of July. For those of you that know, I'm not going to name his name, but he's done with the military. He decided to just throw in the towel and be done. So that's the last person in my family that was in the military. Now, we're all done. And it's kind of sad because he was a career guy, but he just couldn't do it anymore. And he's got 2 kids, so I don't know him real well. He's a cousin of mine. I have like 50. And I've never known him very well, but he seems like an alright guy, and he wants to be a dad, so he's going to try to get a job locally here doing stuff, so I'm driving him around, and it's been good having him back, I guess. I haven't seen him in like 12 years. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video and let you guys know why I go on like I do about the power of language and why it's so important. More important than having a full house, a house full of ammo and extra food and magazines of whatever you need for your special baby gun. More important than that is interfacing with others and helping fight on the actual battlefield, which is for the heart and mind of our people. And you're not going to do that being a bunker nut. You're not going to do that living in the woods by yourself, never talking to anybody. I know some of us want to do that, and if you do that, I wish you the best. I just don't think you're helping. I think the best thing that we can do is build connections with other people who know the truth and want to do something that matters, and build families and communities with those people, and do everything we can to raise a generation of people that are minimally affected by this mind poison. That's all I got. And in the meantime, how can we do that? Well, we use the Go Free method. We use the America First approach. We use the localism approach, purging the rhinos, trying to replace the bad eggs in your local area, your local government, your sheriff's office, your PTA. We can fight back doing those things too. But primarily, we have to build. We have to build something anew because we're already living in the carcass of our once great country. It's dead. Whatever comes next, we're going to have to build while this evil empire of lies thrashes in its death throes. And who knows how long that's going to be. With the power, size, and weight of the GAE, or whatever you want to call it, the American Empire, the Empire of Lies, with how big it is, it might be dying for another 100 years. We don't know. But it's dead. Or at least dying. So, what are we going to do? We have to build. Just like our ancestors, we have to weather the bad kings. We have to weather the evil on top of us. And we have to persevere. And we have to raise children hard enough, strong enough, smart enough to survive this storm. Because we're not all going to make it. And with that, we're back to this beautiful spot. I will definitely be taking pictures of this place for the thumbnail. I love you all. I hope to see you on tap tomorrow. I'll be putting a link to Jason's channel in the description and as a pinned comment below. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July weekend, and I hope I do too. Goodbye and God bless.